Fran Kirby, who curls it in.
Oh, it's perfect! It's a wonder goal! It's absolutely superb! Oh my word! It's in! The Gunners fire themselves ahead!
Everything they touch is turning to gold. Hello and welcome to the Etihad, where today Manchester City will be hoping to strengthen their grip on this title race. They have lost once in the WSL, and that comes at the hands of today's opponents, Chelsea, in the opening day of the season. But since then, they have been unstoppable in their pursuit of their first league crown since 2016.
Under the lights at Stamford Bridge, the Women's Super League returns. The ball across, and Fever Jones, who finds the back of the net. Micah Hamado is there to get Chelsea's second goal. Ball across, met by Bunny Shaw, who heads it in. Back to Benny, who fires it in.
And they have turned it around.
Manchester City with a statement of intent this season for sure. It is 3-0. Kirsten Kasperaj, and Manchester City are running away with things.
Harvey's delivery, and Shaw's there.
Lauren Hemp winds up for the shot. Oh, an absolute rocket.
Manchester City can move 9 points clear today. Carolyn, brilliantly done.
Bunny Shaw finally gets her goal!
His winning mentality really is in this group.
Unstoppable and unrelenting. Manchester City have set the pace all season long, and head coach Andre Yeglert says the focus remains on one game at a time. But he knows victory here today against Chelsea would move them one step closer to the title and put City firmly on course to lift the WSL trophy in May. Following last weekend's defeat to Arsenal, Sonia Bonpastor admitted that the chance of winning a 7th straight WSL title is likely over for her side, and the Blues boss knows that only a victory for the champions today will give them any realistic hope of catching Manchester City this season. Well, we are all set for another huge game at the top of the WSL, and kickoff at the Etihad is coming up at 2:30. Well, there is a party atmosphere in the stadium. The top two are going head-to-head, and I've got a top three with me today: Farrah Williams, Ellen White and Steph Houghton. Farrah, I'm going to start with you, because have you recovered from last week? That Chelsea performance, I suppose it was a defining moment in the WSL title race.
Yeah, definitely. We heard Sonia talk about that at the end of the game. Maybe their title hopes are over. I think she said there was a bit of an emotional statement at the end of the game. But I think for Chelsea, they didn't quite get to grips with Arsenal's tactics. Arsenal come into the game and were on it right from the off, and Beth Mead made a real impact, and we saw that from her goal here. But Chelsea didn't deal with Beth throughout the game. Arsenal got the lead there through Beth and went on to get their second through Caldenti, a fantastic finish. Again, Beth Mead involved, but Arsenal were at their very best last week against Chelsea. They had a point to prove, as they lost midweek in the Cup to Manchester United in the semi-final, but they were the better team. So Chelsea need a reaction today against the title top, the team at the top of the title.
And I suppose Manchester City was sitting back and watching that, Ellen, but they still then had to go and take advantage and get the job done against London City Lionesses the next day.
Absolutely. I can imagine they were sitting rubbing their hands together, but then they were like, right, we have to get the job done, like you said. And I think they put in a very mature performance, a different mentality that maybe we've seen in a number of seasons. And London City Lionesses, they made them work really, really hard. Obviously, Carolyn got the opening goal, and then they obviously got a beautiful goal, London City Lionesses. But I feel like they just continually probed Man City. They just kept working and working and working. They were patient throughout the game, and they knew their moment would come. And guess who pops up with a big moment and a big scoring moment is Bunny Shaw. She's so prolific, she's so exciting, she's phenomenal. And I think, you know, she is a huge reason why Man City are currently 9 points clear at the top of the table.
Kind of already that champion performance. But moving on from that, Steph, you know, there's this great trend going around at the moment, throwbacks to 2016, people posting photos of what they were doing. Well, actually, in 2016 is when Manchester City last lifted the WSL trophy. Good memories?
Yeah, amazing memories. I think that's why you want to join a club like Manchester City, is to win titles. And it's a long time ago now, and I think these last few years we've been dying to get that trophy back to Manchester. And this was an amazing day, I think. When you join a club like Man City, you want days like this where you're trying to fight for a title, you're winning, the feeling of everyone being together. And yeah, I mean, it's such a special day with such a special group of people, and I think there's a little bit of a feeling about this team at this moment in time, but still a long, long way to go.
You're just seeing yourself there, joining in the celebrations.
I wouldn't be able to jump that high now, that's for certain fact.
Why do you think it has taken this long to rebuild and get to that moment again, Steph?
I think there's a lot of things behind the scenes in terms of recruitment, getting the right players. Also, from a tactical point of view, I think we've always been really technically good at Manchester City, but it's what it takes to get to that next level, which, to respect Chelsea, is what they've done very, very well over the last few seasons, is they know what it takes to win. But I think now this City squad has got a lot of international players that have played big games, won big trophies, and hopefully that can all come together this year.
I suppose, Farah, this is an intriguing game though, because the games lost this season from Manchester City has been against Chelsea. So does that stay in your head as a player?
I think so, a little bit. I think, you know, certainly that opening game, I felt Chelsea dominated that game. They come away with a 2-0 victory, and then literally a week ago in the Cup semi-final, a big game for both teams. Chelsea come out on top again in that. I think it was 1-0 again. So I think for these Manchester City players, knowing they've gone unbeaten the whole season, apart from when they face Chelsea, will be playing on their minds a little bit. And also for Chelsea, in terms of that reaction and response from last weekend's defeat to Arsenal, they know they can come and beat Manchester City away from home.
Well, a player that wasn't in the team back in 2016, but she sure is now in this Manchester City team, is Vivianne Miedema, who's been speaking to Joe Curry.
Well, Viv, this season's going rather well, and this afternoon things could get even better. A win would leave you potentially 12 points clear, and with 8 games to go. And at that point, surely, in terms of the title race, you'd be untouchable, maybe?
I mean, yeah, obviously we've had a good season so far. I think we're really chuffed with where we're at. Today is going to be extremely difficult. We know how good Chelsea is. There's still loads of games left to play after that as well, so I wouldn't say it's played at all after the game today. But we know what we need to do, and we know that we need to get a result today, and hopefully we can.
We've seen City go close to that elusive next title in recent seasons, come close but not quite do it. How has Andre instilled this calm mentality this year?
I think the good thing maybe is that there's a lot of new players, a new coach. Obviously it's football, isn't it? Like, you're either the one who's being chased or you're the one who needs to chase. I've been on either end of it, and I've came away with a title and I've lost titles. So for us right now, we just focus on every single game, and the next game is the most important game.
Believe it or not, it's been 2 years since City last beat Chelsea in the league. It must feel like it's your time today.
Hopefully. Obviously we played them 10 days ago. We know each other really well, I think. We've played each other loads of times last year as well. And again, like, we know how much quality they have, but we also know that we've got qualities, and hopefully we can show that today, and hopefully we can get a result with that.
Well, thanks for speaking to us. Enjoy every minute.
No worries. Thank you.
Well, Manchester City know there is still plenty of work to do in the title race this season, with lots of football still to play. But belief is growing among supporters, and many are beginning to ask the same question: could this finally be their year?
You know, they're the only people that have beat us this whole season. They're a bête noire, so this is big style revenge today.
Looking forward to it. We've been to a women's game before, didn't we? We went to the Joy Stadium, yeah. But yeah, really looking forward to it today.
It's first v second, and if we win this, I reckon we've won the league now.
It's a big one. It's the biggest one. It's the decider, isn't it? I think it'll be nice to see somebody else come out on top. Chelsea have dominated for so long, so it'll be nice to see Man City get back to where they've been previously.
So the fans are starting to believe, but what do the players think? Well, I had the pleasure of having a chat with Manchester City's Kirsten Kasperai, who is having a standout season about the race for the WSL title. Manchester City at the moment, people are starting to talk about you guys potentially lifting the trophy this season.
It's kind of funny because we were in such an underdog position going into this season. I felt like everybody was talking about, obviously, Chelsea, Arsenal, United, and it was kind of nice, like, being left out of that conversation. Mm-hmm. And I think we really, like, took that as motivation. I think for us, we've made it such a thing, and it sounds very cliche, and you'll know this, like saying, oh, we'll do it game by game. But we're actually really good at doing it. And I think that's been such a good thing we are doing, but it's so necessary because obviously now the talk starts to pipe up. Are we going to win it this year? Or like, are they going to choke? Like, we try and stay very grounded. We're not there yet, so.
What do you think has changed from when you look back at previous seasons to this?
A lot, like, and it's not even in like massive changes. It's like the little tweaks that matter the most, like doing a lot of things together with like staff and players, really becoming like a tight unit that works together. We get so much freedom, and not just freedom, but also trust and responsibility. Whereas previously we were playing in obviously the City system, like such a good system, obviously, but almost a bit robotic at times, and you could see players sometimes really kind of struggling with that. Whereas Andreas kind of like stepped back and like left a space for players to step into and to be like, actually, we're taking responsibility here. So leaving that space actually allows us now to be able to switch on the pitch, be adaptable, but also believe in ourselves and in each other and being really calm in that.
3 player of the matches, player of the month as well. What do you put your form down to?
What have I put it down to? I think trust. Again, like trust is such a massive thing. Obviously trust from the manager and my teammates, but also like trust in myself. And I've got such a strong desire to like try and push myself every single day to just get better and enjoy that process and enjoy being uncomfortable. But I'm also like, again, like I'm just really enjoying, especially our offensive style of play this year and linking up with Bunny and Carolyn and all the other incredible forwards that we have. So it's just been a joy to work, and I go to the club every single day with like a smile on my face and excited to see my mates and excited to work together and improve. So yeah, I think that's mostly why it's been going well so far.
Well, standout performances, and I tell you what, standout cooking as well. Those donuts were lovely. I could do with one of those right now. But Steph, she's such an important player for Manchester City now.
Yeah, she's massively important. The vice captain of this side, been here for it's her 3rd season now, and I think when she joined there was so much potential with Kirsten, a young player coming, wanting to learn, and I think on that right-hand side for Manchester City she is so crucial. And with this new manager, a lot of the girls are saying it's about more freedom. I think for Kirsten, I think it's that initiative to try and get into the box and add more assists and more goals to the game. From an athletic point of view, she can run up and down this right channel all day. The biggest improvement that she's made is them crosses into the box, like that final ball, that final delivery into really good areas, and also her teammates knowing that if you're going to put in the space, she will run, she will make something happen in crucial games like this at Arsenal. The right-hand side is such a strong side for Manchester City. They know where each other are at all times, and for me this is another example of just put the ball in the box for someone like Bunny Shaw, because we know how prolific she is, but for me that freedom, that intelligence, that awareness of what your role is in each moment has been so crucial for Kirsten this year.
I remember always being told as a fullback that it was all well and good me getting into those attacking areas, but like you mentioned with Kirsten there, what was I doing at the end of it? Making sure I got my head up and picked out somebody into the box.
And that just doesn't come with luck, Alex, that comes with practice on the training pitch, but also that relationship between the front 3 and the full-backs in terms of who's in the box, who's arriving, putting it into an area. And I think for me the biggest improvement is that final ball, and I think she's been doing it for a lot this season, played every single game for Manchester City, 2 goals, 5 assists. It's not a bad start.
Not a bad start at all. But Farah, actually looking at that, you think that's where Chelsea can exploit Manchester City today?
Yeah, and I would agree with what Steph's saying in terms of in possession and how she can really exploit opposition, because her strength is getting forward. This is where I feel she falls a little bit short, her positioning in those transition moments, whether to press the ball or not. And actually she leaves her channel free for Chelsea to get into on this occasion. Aggie Beever-Jones manages to get a shot away, and we'll see it again here. She's in that half position. Do I go and press the full back? In doing that, you leave the channel free. You can see it here wanting to double up. It actually pulls her centre half out of position. Now both centre half gets drawn to the ball, which leaves balls in between the lines for Manchester City have to defend. Alex Greenwood defends it on that occasion. Again, in a half position, Alex leaving the channel free. What they don't want to do is leave that free today for Thompson to go and because she has the pace and the qualities to really hurt them in this area. They get across from this Chelsea. Again, nothing comes of it, but those opportunities are there for Chelsea to exploit when Cass Bryant decides to get high.
But I suppose, Ellen, obviously I'm going to come to you when we're going to switch now and talk about attacking. When you look through this Manchester City team, I know you're a big fan of Bunny Shaw, but you want to highlight a number of different players.
Yeah, absolutely. I obviously want to give my flowers to Bunny Shaw at the same time because she's such a phenomenal talent. I feel like she just gets better and better each season. Last season was a little bit plagued with injuries, and she's already surpassed the amount of goals with 13 this season. Just, I feel like her presence, her ability to have connections with her teammates, she pops up with winners. We saw against London City Lionesses, and this one's against Everton. Her aerial ability is just so good. But then her connection with Niedermar, they played 13 games, all 13 games this season together. So you can see that relationship and connection really developing. And then when you have impact players, the likes of Bene scored the winner against Arsenal. But then when you've got wide players like Lauren Hemp, Caroline, they've got such attacking prowess. You can score goals from outside of the box. You can assist. I just think they're deadly going forward. Caroline, little stat for you here, Alex. Her per goal involvement is 53 minutes. Every 53 minutes, she either assists or scores, and that's three assists, three goals. But yeah, Bunny Shaw, I think, is phenomenal. But you need everyone in that front line having that connection relationship and also impacting with goals and assists.
I think the fluidity within their front line, they have that vocal point we know in Bunny Shaw, and that is so important to Manchester City in terms of that attacking third. But the wide players, and we speak about Cass Bryant, that intelligence to know when to stay on the outside and Caroline come inside and when to do the opposite. They do that really well, and when you do it with numbers, it makes it really difficult for defenders to defend it.
Okay, well, that's the thoughts of our pundits, but let's hear from the managers who's been speaking to Joe Curry.
Well, Andre, 12 matches unbeaten in the league. In fact, your only defeat this season came in the opening weekend and against Chelsea. It must feel like your team has grown a lot since then.
Yeah, definitely. We have shown that during the whole season that everything is about growing together, relationships, building different kind of structures, and we have done that for a long time now, and I think we are quite far away from where we were in September.
Well, Sonia, last weekend you said the title was probably gone. How much of that was the emotion talking? How much time have you had to reflect on that this week?
Yeah, again, I think there is not a lot we can control in that, and we know all the context around the game today. I think the main thing for us is to focus on ourselves. I told my players today, the focus needs to be about us and the performance we want to put together. We know we need points, and we need to have a good performance to achieve that.
If you win today, how big a moment could this be in your season?
Of course, it's great. That's what we go for. So definitely, if that happens, it's a great gap down to the other teams. But at the same time, there is a lot of games, and what we have been very good in so far is to take in one game ahead. And it has to be like that, no matter what. But of course, if we win, it gives us a great opportunity for the rest of the season.
You've already beaten City twice this season, once in the league, once in the League Cup. Surely that must give you that little bit of extra confidence.
Yeah, but again, I think the game will be completely different today. I think, again, they are playing a home game with the support of their fans. We are coming here with a lot of ambitions, but we know they are a strong team. Always a tough game for us, but hopefully we'll be able to put a strong performance and to come back with some points.
Well, I'm glad you came, and so are the Wanted, who have been singing their smash here, entertaining the fans at the Etihad. But now it's time for the serious business as Manchester City look to take another big step towards the WSL title at home against reigning champions Chelsea.
Under the lights at Stamford Bridge, the Women's Super League returns. The ball across, and Fever Jones who finds the back of the net. Micah Hamado is there to get Chelsea's second goal. Ball across, met by Bunny Shaw, who heads it in. Back to Benny, who fires it in.
And they have turned it around.
Manchester City with a statement of intent this season for sure. It is 3-0. Kerstin Kasperaj, and Manchester City are running away with things.
Harvey's delivery, and Shaw's there. Lauren Hemp winds up for the shot. Oh, an absolute rocket
Manchester City can move 9 points clear today. Carolyn, brilliantly done.
Bunny Shaw finally gets her goal.
His winning mentality really is in this group.
Oh, what a game this is going to be. Okay, quick one from you guys. I'm putting you on the spot. Farrah Williams, prediction, please.
Of course you come to me first, Alex. I ain't going to give a score prediction. I'm not going away from the dark blues and the southwest London, so I'm going with Chelsea win.
3-2 Man City, goals, 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 Alex.
I've got to go Man City, don't I?
Well, either way, I'm sure we are going to be entertained as the players are ready and heading out to the pitch. Let's get you over to the Fantastic Two, which is Rachel Brown-Finnis alongside Robin Cowell.
Thank you very much, Alex. Good afternoon, everyone. An expectant Etihad Stadium. Manchester City labelled the champions-elect after last weekend, extending their lead at the top of the WSL table to a chunky 9 points. Chelsea's defeat to Arsenal last weekend has left their ambition of a 7th consecutive title hanging by a thread. There are no two ways about it. This is a must-win. This is perhaps their final chance of keeping their hopes of a 9th WSL title alive. The Etihad Stadium has given it the big build-up. Are we going to get a big result to match time to deliver? Manchester City keep the same team that beat London City Lionesses last weekend. It's a frightening front line with WSL top scorer Viviana Miedema playing as the 10. Caroline has 3 in her last 3, equaling her tally for league goals in the entirety of last season. Bunny Shaw leads the Golden Boot standings with 13 goals. She scored the winner last weekend in Bromley. Mary Fowler is named on the bench for the first time since April when she ruptured her ACL in an FA Cup game against Manchester United. It's 3 changes from the Chelsea side that lost to Arsenal at Stamford Bridge. Lucy Bronze is out with a minor injury, so Verla Burman comes into the defence. Kira Walsh, who spent 8 years at Man City, starts for the first time this year. Lauren James made her 100th Chelsea appearance in the League Cup semi-final win over City a couple of weeks ago, and she replaces Sam Kerr. Back-to-back huge games, in particular for Chelsea. Sonia Bonpastor has said that title is out of their control. A huge game for both City and Chelsea this afternoon, Rachel.
Indeed, it is, Robin. And Sonia Bonpastor trying to take a little pressure off of her players with making statements like this. But Chelsea are about winning. They are juggling many a tournament, including Champions League. Not something that Andre Yegeles has this season, but she demands excellence. She demands winners. Manchester City are firmly in the driving seat, and some of those connections Andre Yegeles has found within his teammates, the likes of Kasparai down that right-hand side, Rebecca Knack in centre half alongside Jade Rose, have been so hard to break down, and they'll be looking to the pace of Alyssa Thompson. Ellie Carpenter has been instrumental in Chelsea driving down that right-hand side. Gave Manchester City such a torrid time in the opening game of the season at Stamford Bridge when she made her debut, Ellie Carpenter. She'll be looking to get Alex Greenwood down Manchester City's left, but Manchester City know they're getting something from this game. The title is pretty much in their hands.
Well, Manchester City have had so many near misses. They have finished second 5 times in the WSL. Their single title was a decade ago, back in 2016, when it was a summer league. That's how long it was. And really, they are in pole position. But you can never relent when you've got Chelsea on your tail. Serial winners, but they have it all to do, and it's Chelsea who are suddenly the chasers, an unfamiliar position for them in recent years. So we are just about set for the action here at the Etihad. Vivianne Miedema gets us underway. The Sky Blues against the Dark Blues. Just twice Manchester City have lost this season in any competition. Both of those times they lost to Chelsea. Opening day in the WSL and just a couple of weeks ago in the League Cup semi-finals. So there might still just be a slight nagging doubt.
Well, what we've seen early on is Sonia Bonpastor's set off with 4 at the back. She's been playing with 3 centre-halves. Lucy Bronze out today, so they've gone 4 at the back. But they will certainly be looking to impress their game plan. Key players missing, like Sir Sam Kerr, but he said Kira Walsh back in that central pivot role. Be looking to bring some magic.
Burnman down the line, looking for Erin Cuthbert. In her attempts to try and win the ball back, she commits a foul on Kirsten Kaspereit. You're absolutely right, Rachel, that's come as a bit of a surprise. He prefers the 3 at the back, but a 4 today. I wonder if Andre Jeglerts was expecting that.
And that's all part of the build-up and the game plan, isn't it, from 2 top managers. Certainly Bonpastor, tried and tested, Champions League winner, coming to Chelsea to try and get that elusive title, but more domestic problems first at hand for her. I'm sure Ellie Carpenter will be relieved of her right-back position as much as she can be. I want to see her bombing down that right-hand side in attacking position.
Jade Rose tries to play in Kaspereit. It's cut out fairly easily by Baltimore. It finds Vika Kaptein, who scored the winner in the League Cup semi-final.
Yeah, only 20 years old, Vika Kaptein. She's become a really key player for Chelsea, playing in that 10 role, attacking midfielder. Great to see Lauren James starting today as well.
Here is Lauren Hemp, whose only goal this season came at the Etihad in the Manchester derby. Gets the cross in, well defended by Germer. Picked up by Greenwood, who lays it back for Lauren Hemp to the back post. Kaspereit is there, but it's out of play for a goal kick.
Well, we've just been waxing lyrical about the pace of Ellie Carpenter. Let's not omit to mention the speed and excellent skill of her counterpart today, and that is Lauren Hemp. And that could be one of the reasons that Bonpastor has put Ellie Carpenter at a flat right back to ensure that Lauren Hemp doesn't get in that channel that would have been free with a central 3. And as well, it allows Sondy Baltimore to play in a more forward position.
I would say not lining up with a traditional number 9. Thompson, the most central. She can play there.
She'll play on the inside shoulder, so she'll try and get between Rebecca Knack and Jade Rose. She's been electric in the channels.
Knack, a slightly awkward ball for Yamashita, who deals with it really well, confidently. Blinkilla Brown under pressure from Cuthbert. Rose to Kaspereit. Caroline, lovely flick to find Bunny Shaw, and likewise nearly for Vivianne Miedema. Just an illustration there of the confidence that this City team are playing with.
Absolutely. Nicolai didn't really have too much option. The ball was in an awkward position, but to redirect it inwards, find a forward partner. Bunny Shaw is the one to watch for City, so prolific this season. In previous seasons, about keeping her fit to keep Manchester City winning games. I'm sure Jeglerts and the backroom staff will absolutely be ensuring that that is the case in this final few months of the season.
Not just a goal scorer, 4 assists as well, so 17 goal involvements in the WSL for Bunny Shaw. Yes, it was 2 seasons ago where City lost the title to Chelsea on goal difference, and really she was the difference. And they lost her, ended up losing what looked like a certain second title in their history.
What we're impressed with, Robin, talking off air before the game, is the depth of Manchester City's bench. Not something in previous seasons they've had.
Unsurprisingly, James wriggling away from a tight situation. Here's Kaptein, and now Sandy Baltimore. Trying to get around Kasparai. Sticks to her well. Picked up by Miedema. Wright gets a foot in. Caroline commits the foul on Girma, just had a hand on the shoulder.
Yeah, Girma did really well to stay on her feet in case the assistant, who was right next to the duo, didn't flag. Good athleticism from Girma. I was just chuckling to myself what a kind of a time-long battle Millie Bright against Bunny Shaw has been. 2 really dominant figures of the game.
She might remember these two played each other 5 times in very quick succession last season. City just winning once in the first leg of the quarter-final of the Champions League. In the end, it didn't matter because Chelsea overturned that 2-0 deficit to win 3-2. And at that point, Manchester City in a bit of disarray, reappointing Nick Cushing after dismissing Gareth Taylor and almost sort of coasting towards the end of the season, hoping that Cushing could make the desired impact in the end. They missed out on Champions League football, so they've had a clear run at the title, and they are delivering so far. Still time to go, of course, in this season, but really it is theirs to lose. It's going to take some slip up.
Plenty of quality for Andrea Jeglec to pick up from that situation at the end of last season, but also plenty of confidence levels to pick up from the floor. Such disappointment, but as you mentioned, perfect set of circumstances, new environment, new manager, and so far so good for Jeglec.
James infield for Vika Kaptein. Carpenter where she wants to be, far forward. Kaptein. Walsh. Kaptein receives it on the back foot. Shaw just gets there, ahead of Girma, give and go. Shaw doesn't have lots of support. Here is Caroline. Now Hemp. Digs out the cross. Out of play. Kerstin Kasparai was screaming for it, having made the run from right back.
Yeah, Kasparai wanted it earlier. See in this picture, she's lost Baltimore. Yes, Berman comes across and kind of marks her, but she's been in that space for a good few seconds. Wanted it earlier, but frustrated with herself. But she's certainly shown a beating of Ellie Carpenter in these opening few exchanges, Lauren Hemp.
Yes, Carpenter matching her pace, but failing to stop the cross. Is elusive, Lauren Hemp. Baltimore with some nice interchange between herself and Berman. Miedema dispossesses Cuthbert, plays in Bunny Shaw. Cuts inside of Girma, and the challenge from behind by Erin Cuthbert.
Yeah, a little rash from Erin Cuthbert. She didn't need to commit because Girma was so smart. I was watching Girma. When the ball gets past, see a reaction to come across and narrow the space down, to close the space down to Bunny Shaw. Sticks with her, jockeys exceptionally well, Girma. And yes, Cuthbert's trying to get back to double up, but doesn't need to. Tackles from behind. It is a free kick. Puts the team in a dangerous situation.
Viviana Miedema. and captain Alex Greenwood in discussion over this one. I'll tell you what, if our City representative Steph Houghton was still playing, she's probably just creeping onto the pitch now. She'd be sizing this one up herself.
Wow, this is 1-0 in Team GB against Brazil at Wembley territory, this. I just watching the sideline and barking instructions on the assistants at Manchester City. Certainly have something they've worked on. Pretty decent options. Greenwood, Miedema, Hasegawa.
Miedema touches it for Greenwood. Charged down by James. Chelsea standing their ground. Miedema. Very good defensive header from Naomi Gurma. Seen how to play for a corner.
It really was excellent. I was watching the Manchester City and it was stacked in there with Bunny Shaw, Rebecca Knack, Jade Rose, all excellent targets in there. And it's a dangerous ball in. Just to get your timely positioning absolutely spot on. Naomi Gurma did brilliantly.
It's deep. Back in by Caroline. It's going to be another corner kick for City.
This is where City can be really dangerous. Exceptional for open play, and Bunny Shaw having her run down the centre, but set pieces. Kasper, I think, is going to be taking this. But look at Rebecca Knack, Jay Rose, Bunny Shaw, all clustered together. Chelsea need blockers.
Kasper with the outswinger towards the near post. It's cleared only as far as Caroline! Strikes City into the lead. A fourth in 4 games. City have the advantage with a sweet strike from Caroline.
Decent ball in from Kasper, just never dealt with. Lovely little flick on, but 1, 2, no one presses down the line. Little nick, I think it was Baltimore in the end, but just sloppy. Not half-hearted, but just pedestrian defending. It comes off Ellie Carpenter, who's not had anything go her way. Been on the back foot since the start. It's a decent strike. How much have they missed Caroline, Manchester City? Been without her for best part of the last 6 weeks before the winter break. But Manchester City have earned this lead at the Etihad.
Such a good run of form. She's already surpassed her tally for last season's WSL goal. She's had her injury problems. It's taken her a bit of time to settle, but settle she has. And Chelsea behind. And like we saw last weekend against Arsenal, a touch passive.
Absolutely. From that set piece, passive, back foot on the heels. Just not the usual aggressors of a game. Now whether Bon Pastor will change this flat back four, which looks flat. It's good when you're defensive and you need to be in a line, but you've got to break shapes. You've got to make Lauren Hemp particularly think about what she's doing, trying to pin her back. No rash decisions early on. Bon Pastor will not be ruffled. A great start for Jegletz and his set-piece team.
Well, that table makes for very pretty reading from a Manchester City point of view. Chelsea dropped to third as it stands. Manchester United winning earlier today. But he's been poked, he's been prodded, he's been asked by the media, but he is staying calm.
I love the fact that, and it's so empowering for players just to talk about the present. Don't worry about the past, don't think too far in advance. It's all about being present, focusing on the present, on what's right here, right now, and he continually talks about that, and it's been an excellent narrative for the players.
Baltimore finds Kaptein. He's done well. He's surrounded by sky blue shirts. Cuthbert forced to go all the way back to Germer. Walsh, advantage played. Kaptein taken out. But up. Kira Walsh, that's a wonderful ball. Thompson couldn't quite control.
Really was a stunning ball, and just Alyssa Thompson had the pace, just couldn't quite get her feet grounded to get a contact on that.
Berman. Now Cuthbert drops the shoulder. Walsh. Now Lauren James. Tries to find Kaptein! Flag is up. Excellent Chelsea move. Let's have a look.
Well, no VAR, just to reiterate. I mean, as soon as you start thinking, wow, Lauren James has not been in the game at all, this sort of thing happened. It is fractionally offside, right call from the assistant, but what a wonderful ball to find Kaptein between Rose and Kasparai, just finding that space. Lovely header. Yamashita will be glad that one's chalked off.
A very good spot from the assistant. Bunny Shaw is fouled, advantage is played. Here's Lauren Hemp, Hasegawa, Caroline. Walsh wins the ball back for Chelsea.
Manchester City wanted to squeeze Chelsea now, keep them pinned back. They have done for the majority of this first 18 minutes.
Kanak finds Hemp. Germer in the way. Walsh will set Sandy Baltimore away. She's got a lot of room to manoeuvre here. As Kasparai likes to push up. Baltimore sizing up her options. It's Cuthbert! The block made by Alex Greenwood. And here's Caroline. Frantic stage of the game.
Well, Farah Stefanel highlighted it before the match, that space that potentially Baltimore could have when Kasparai gambles and gets forward, and Chelsea didn't make the most of it. Juan Pastor will certainly want to see Baltimore in similar situations more often.
Did just stray out of play. As Manchester City are top scorers in the WSL. They have sacrificed a little bit of defensive solidity, although looks slightly more sturdy in the last few games. Just really using their firepower this season. Lynn Killer-Brown started the last 8, really didn't get much game time at all last season. The 22-year-old now really starting to put a stamp on this Manchester City team in a difficult position. Plus the fact that they went out and signed US Women's National Team player Sam Coffey in January as well. Miedema received well, couldn't keep it going.
What a brilliant set of circumstances for Blinkilda Brown. 2 years, I think it was yesterday she signed for Manchester City, and to play alongside Hasegawa, one of the best players in that role, arguably in the world. She'll be learning every minute of every day playing alongside Hasegawa. And as a duo, how Jagelec has set them up, they have been excellent. Look like they've been playing together for years. But yeah, Sam Cuffy puts competition. Actually, Jagelec was saying one of the only differences is how vocal she is. And I think that's a little nudge to a young, developing player to say, look, you need to add that into your game.
It's easier said than done, literally.
Some holding centre midfielders are never quiet.
Germer under pressure from Bunny Shaw, clears. Greenwood picks it up. Here's Caroline. Kanak nearly turning into trouble. Hasegawa always making herself an option.
Manchester City are playing like the dominant team in the head-to-head, and when you look at the head-to-head, it's all Chelsea. But Manchester City look the more confident team, the more flowing team.
Hemp pulls it back for Miedema. Shaw back to goal. Caroline away by Millie Bright. Blinkilda Brown touches it towards Kirsten Kaspereit. Baltimore. Well, she got past Caroline, but Kaspereit, she was so high up in her starting position, was there to help out, try and defend from the front. An excellent front-footed defending from Bright.
Yeah, good reading of the player by Blinkilda Brown there. Came across to cover Kaspereit. Recognising the gamble if she pushes forward, the space that Baltimore could be in.
Germer. Carpenter.
Interesting to see Miedema pick the ball up at centre-half position there, but Miedema floats around. Becomes difficult to mark. Rotation and movement's excellent for Manchester City.
Greenwood, early ball in. Berman had to deal with that. Hasegawa was ready to pounce.
Yeah, love that run from Hasegawa, spotted early by Alex Greenwood, just couldn't quite burst in behind Berman. Hasegawa, this is the jumble of defensive attempts to try and clear the ball. Caroline back with a bang.
Contributing to this City title charge. Cuthbert scurrying forward, trying to pick out Baltimore just a couple of inches ahead of her.
When Baltimore breaks, just didn't seem to be huge numbers in the box for Chelsea.
Neatly done by Germer to find Carpenter. Pulls it low. Rose gets a foot in. Kira Walsh shrugging off the challenge of Blinkilda Brown. Carpenter's cross over the head of Kaptein. Berman, now Baltimore.
Chelsea are scratching around for some sort of opening.
Walsh, been incisive in her passing, really trying to pick apart this City defence. Baltimore drives it. And whether that was a cross or a shot, maybe she hoped that there would be someone on the end of it.
That was a shot, definitely struck the ball right through the laces, gets a little yard on Kasperaj, drives the ball. Flew like a jet, landed just between the B and the A.
And more football commentary for you later on BBC Sounds from the Premier League. Manchester City men's team at Tottenham Hotspur, 4:30 kickoff there. Ski Sunday tonight at BBC 2, 5:35. The women's football show is tonight, 9 p.m. on iPlayer, 11:40 on BBC One, straight after Match of the Day. All the highlights from the WSL from the weekend, and the Six Nations next Saturday, Italy against Scotland. We start at 1:30 on BBC One. Baltimore, now James. Kasperaj treading a slightly fine line there. A few audible gasps. You try and tackle Lauren James. Got to be perfect.
Yeah, Lauren James coming to life. Great balance. Cuthbert on the ball. They're not creating much from open play.
Taken short, Baltimore back for Cuthbert. It's Walsh! That was travelling. Really nicely worked. Cuthbert back into the middle. Lauren James. Easy one for Yamashita, who had to watch Walsh's effort all the way.
Did watch the swerve, and this was never and isn't a prolific goal scorer. This one would have been sweet against a childhood club. Bit of dip, bit of swerve. Good solid grounding from Yamashita. Strong arms to direct it away. Chelsea are getting a little bit of foot in the game now.
A wonderful pass to find Berman. Baltimore. Those two linking up well. Again, Kasperaj on the retreat. Baltimore teasing Kasperaj. A brick wall.
Yeah, defensively questioned Kasperaj, but answered that excellently. Matched every jink and movement. This is what Bonpastor want. Play more of the game in City's final defensive third.
Again, Kira Walsh is alone on the edge of the box. And she's found by Erin Cuthbert. Walsh! Again, just drags it wide this time.
Well, if you can see it, Robin, surely they can see it. But, I mean, one beautiful strike of the ball. Credit Bunny Shaw, who did get out there really quickly and no doubt made that effort more difficult.
As you mentioned, she doesn't score many goals, Walsh, but it seems to always be from that position. Scored at the Euros against France. And her only goal for Chelsea came from that sort of position against Spurs. Caroline away from Berman, but Millie Bright was there to clear up and clear out Caroline. Fabulous work from him.
Yeah, I think Millie Bright enjoys stuff like that. Fairly but firmly taking the ball. Berman's not altogether looked completely comfortable. Brilliant covering from Millie Bright. Striding over, timing that tackle brilliantly.
I should say Chelsea are pretty light at the back, in particular. Defenders Niamh Charles still not fit, but Natalie Björn as well. They're missing some very senior players. Bright's clearance finds Thompson.
I don't think many football fans have ever felt sorry for Chelsea in their lack of depth in the squad. You look on the bench and still got internationals, Nuskin, Garrett Wright and Ritty Cannerid, Sam Kerr, but they're all Agatha Jones, all attacking players. Obviously Baltimore could play at left back and right and not left side. There's still options.
Captain gets a touch. James. Really good hold-up work. Greenwood just gets there ahead of Carpenter. Lauren Hemp tries to get onto her own flick-on. Kira Walsh. Baltimore picks out Cuthberts, and had to be touched over by Yamashita.
And that's the best passage of play I've seen from Chelsea. Baltimore involved, Cuthbert involved with the strike, but patient build-up from Chelsea this time, and Baltimore with an incisive pass to Cuthbert. Yamashita had to watch it right to the very last second. Is it going to float over? Do I need to make an athletic save? The latter executed brilliantly.
Cuthbert on corner duty. Shaw gets her head to it. Retrieved by Germer. Carpenter in support. Walsh for Carpenter, flag stays down. A few claims for offside. Chelsea come again. Thompson. Cuthbert, first time ball in. The ricochet favours City. Back to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, very compact Manchester City, so any balls into the middle, it's going to favour Manchester City, and they have done that really, really well, first and second phase. That's why Chelsea are getting a little bit of joy from the edge of the box. There's a cut back on.
loses it. Miedema trying to play in Shaw. Makes it 2!
Let's all have a little dance. It's pickpocket stuff, isn't it? Sloppy from Chelsea. Midfield, Hasegawa's brilliant, and it's Miedema, and who are you going to back in a fight to win that ball? Bunny Shaw, probably not technically how she planned it. Little slip, but Miedema, the weight of that ball, and there's only going to be one winner in that, and Bunny Shaw extends the lead at the top of the goal-scoring charts. Miedema, if you need a fine-tooth pass in that final third, she has been an exceptional assister to Bunny Shaw this season. Straight on foot race, they're both exceptionally fast players. But Bunny Shaw does what Bunny Shaw has been doing for a number of years.
Down the line for Vivianne Miedema. City in the mood to make it more. Caroline! It's still there for her! Just bobbles wide. Relentless.
Well, Manchester City players are enjoying themselves. The crowd in the Etihad today are enjoying themselves. And Manchester City are playing like they're enjoying themselves. Samba-style football, little back heel, improvisation. Not showboating is the only way she's going to get a shot on target. Do you fear for Sonia Van Postor's team?
Looking for dissent for Chelsea's coach. Feel the frustration. And it could get worse for Chelsea. Kasparov with a long looping one. It did come out of play. And at the moment, Chelsea under the pump. Need to ride this out. In an intense discussion with the referee.
Yeah, everyone in the Chelsea badges feeling a little frustrated. Certainly not used to a scoreline such as this in the first half, Chelsea.
James. Carpenter. Back to Lauren James. Delivers by Knack. Berman. Baltimore. A sharp turn away, just too many City players around her. Was the furthest forward there. Kirsten Kasparov really had a license this season.
But you know what that shows, Robin? That shows confidence in each other. It shows willingness to do whatever role is required, and that's at the moment Caroline at right back for Kasperaj. A real elevation of belief, confidence, togetherness. Clearly a much improved environment on previous seasons at Manchester City. Remember at Stamford Bridge when it was the opening game of the season against Manchester City, and Naomi Girma was introduced on the pictures. Chelsea's new signing. Well, she's been well and truly introduced to Bunny Shaw in this first half.
James tries to pick out Cat's Eye. Bright just telegraphed a big switch, but it did take a touch there, so something has come of it.
Nick off the back of neck, I think. Albeit 2-0 is an emphatic result, delighting a lot of people in the crowd. But Chelsea are not done.
Some sort of signal here from Baltimore. That's what Chelsea are planning. Miedemar gets ahead to it. Carpenter. Girma tried to shuffle it sideways towards Cuthbert. Shaw brings it away. Wonderful ball. Reverse pass for Lauren Hemp. City flooding forward. Caroline Hasegawa has missed it.
Oh, Chelsea should be hugely grateful that this game isn't done and dusted. Hasegawa's impressed me, her more forward attacking runs, in particular this game, renowned as a holding midfielder, has got forward so much more. Those overlapping runs down that right-hand side and central.
Kasperaj. Shaw with the winner. Hampton with the claim. And Shaw taking a tumble.
Good timing when Hannah Hampton was about to ping one downfield to Alyssa Thompson.
Needing treatment. See, Hampton isn't convinced. It's a withering look.
Chelsea do well, actually. As you see there, Bunny Shaw, nothing seemingly wrong with it, and Hannah Hampton. But there are a couple of players around Bunny Shaw when she jumped for the ball. But what a display by Manchester City this first half. Chelsea have had their chances, but they've been certainly limited in open play. Had little spells when you felt Chelsea could really start to hurt Man City, but Man City hurt Chelsea. Miedemar, Bunny Shaw often ends in back of the net. It was Bunny Shaw's birthday yesterday. And City fans will be desperately hoping she can make it back for the second half, not before.
That is 107 goals, by the way, for Bunny Shaw in 125 appearances for Manchester City. Ridiculous record. Just her second against Chelsea. It's a winner the last time they beat Chelsea. That was at Kings Meadow, February 2024. Three minutes of time added on. Well, Chelsea could have been further behind. Can they nick one back just before the break? Thompson, Baltimore, Kaptai, trying to pick out James, Kanak in the way. Carpenter. Really good defending from Greenwood.
Well, only 2 minutes left for Manchester City to defend as well as they have done. Chelsea will be desperate to try and get something. Kira Walsh, now Lee Carpenter hanging out on the edge of the box once again.
Taken short and worked once again towards the edge of the box for Kira Walsh. No shooting opportunity this time. James towards Bright. Body Shaw with the clearance. Carpenter finds Walsh. Pursued by Miedemar, draws the foul.
But Carpenter had to get that right because you had Lauren Hemp and Carolyn bearing down on it.
James finds Bright. And Gurma's header is high and wide.
Yeah, the old Millie Bright trick, putting her up front to try and grab a goal. Bit too wide, but does the right thing, tries to put it back across, and Naomi Gurma just can't redirect it. Getting a bit underneath of it. They're clutching at straws a little bit, Chelsea, in this first half. Bunny Shaw still limping. Made an excellent clearance, needed her defensively in that last exchange.
She'll be assessed at the break. She wins that header. They are not moving very freely. Miedemar. Kira Walsh cuts off the passing line. City, 2 goals to the good at the break. Caroline with a sweet strike that took a little deflection on its way through to give City the lead before Bunny Shaw making it 2 and putting Manchester City in control at the break. Chelsea really have it all to do and have been overpowered in this first half, Rachel.
They have, and what Manchester City have done is they've dealt with the threats of what Chelsea can bring, and you know, that's Ellie Carpenter bombing down the right-hand side, Sondi Baltimore down the left-hand side, and when they've dealt with that, the transitions and Kasparov, the unpredictability of the forward runs, Hasegawa joining in, and then the real quality in the final third, Miedemar, Bunny Shaw, and scoring. So they've capitalised on Chelsea. They've done what Manchester City have been doing all season and why they're top of the table.
Well, a sobering half then for the champions, who are in serious danger of being dethroned by their opponents today. Manchester City, as it stands, going 11 points clear at the top of the WSL table. A nice comfy lead for them at the break. Half-time here at the Etihad. Manchester City 2, Chelsea 0.
Robin, Rachel, thank you very much. Farah, Ellen and Steph alongside me. Farah, what a dominant display by Manchester City in that first half.
Yeah, really good start. I thought the game was in the balance quite early on, but I think Manchester City have played this opening 45 a lot more energy and intensity and purpose in their play, and I think that's been the difference. I think what Manchester City have given Chelsea, they've neglected. So the spaces we spoke about before the game, Chelsea should have exploited, but actually when they've been there and present, Chelsea have neglected the opportunity to go and exploit it.
Steph, you get to see it most days on the training field and all the patterns of play, but talk us through the first goal. And Ellen, you mentioned at the top of the show about how impressive Caroline has been and her goal involvements, but it was impressive.
Yeah, it was really impressive, and I think this is a time in the game where City were putting pressure on Chelsea in the sense of getting set pieces, the ball coming in. Chelsea don't do the best in terms of clearing it, but Carolyn at this moment in time is in really, really good form for Manchester City. I think it's really brave from the from Lauren Hemp, but also that touch and that strike by Carolyn. And you notice our movement. Chelsea just are not very aware of where she is at that moment in time. They're very vulnerable on the edge of the box, and what a great strike. And this is a player that came up to England last season. Took a while to settle in, but Ellen, that's not a bad strike, is it, coming over?
No, I think she's so full of confidence right now. She picks up a beautiful position in the 18-yard box, and 4 goals, 3 assists. I just think, though, she's just deadly in and around the box, but then also they're on their toes. Chelsea look like they're at 6 and 7s at the moment in the box and in and around the field, and I just feel like Man City capitalised on that.
Yeah, and I think I mentioned it about lethargic. That's what Chelsea looked. They didn't quite get out to the ball. When they did get out to the ball, they're turning. You've got to be big and you've got to be brave, and you've got to let the ball hit you in those sort of positions. You're in front of goal. You're there to defend the goal, and they didn't do that, Chelsea.
Ellen, you've been really impressed with Manchester City in terms of them hunting impacts and really smothering Chelsea.
Yeah, and I think, Farah said about the intensity, and they've been the best team to win the ball back, the possession back in the final third. And I think they've been hunting impacts, they've been aggressive, front-footed, and they're working as a team as well. They know when to put pressure on the ball. They know when to smother Chelsea. Chelsea like to possess the ball. They want to move the ball up the pitch, but they've constantly got numbers in and around them. They've got bodies in and around them. They'll win the ball back, and then they'll start the attack again. You'll see here, you've got Carolyn and Bunny Shaw. They're waiting, they're hunting, but then the midfielder straight onto it. Then there's Casper. They're just constant. Their physicality and that athleticism, but then also just the numbers they have in and around with that press.
Yeah, and again, it is Chelsea then neglecting and playing into that. That is a strength of Manchester City. A high press, they commit fullbacks, midfielders get really high. And we said it, the space that Manchester City are leaving is behind. And Chelsea aren't prepared to play it there. They're playing short passes, which actually is a trigger for Manchester City's depth to press on the front foot.
Yeah, and I think that's been the biggest difference in this game is Manchester City's press versus Chelsea. I think in terms of formation, I think in terms of Man City knowing exactly what they do and in different scenarios in the game, I think City have nailed it, whereas Chelsea are starting to drop deeper and deeper because they're not able to get the pressure on the ball. And we've had many discussions as midfielders and defenders and forwards in terms of if you can't get pressure on the ball as a back line, you can't get up, and that's been so evident today.
And Farah, we know how important it is in these kind of games to kind of not just sit back, but go and press and get that second goal.
Yeah, Manchester City did that, and we just spoke about that press, and that was evident in how they committed to their second goal. For me here, you can just see the setup, but Millie Bright can't play that type of ball in there. If I'm a midfielder in there, I don't want that ball. There's a high press, you've got to miss the press. Bunny Shaw at her best, this is what she does so well and why she's so effective. She's just so powerful. She's in a really good half position here. Half blocking the pass, knows that midfielder going to go put a press on, and then she's ready and alert. Gets between the centre half. At first look, Alex, we thought it was a foul. When you see the replay, she was just physically more powerful than Derma in that position.
Don't underestimate the pass from Medema either. I think in terms of the way of pass, but also the strength of Bunny Shaw. I think we all thought maybe it's a foul, but actually this is just about purest body strength. This is why she's one of the best strikers in the world. That ability to beat Germa, who is very, very good, by the way, but also the finish. I think she's been top class today, but you're right in the sense of Man City are waiting for that pass from Millie Bright into them central areas.
I also think from that pass from Millie Bright to Captain, you need someone coming to feet to set it, and I just don't think they're on the same page at the moment, the Chelsea players. There's taken nothing away from Bunny Shaw from Miedema's pass, because it's an unbelievable finish, but I just don't think they're quite on it. They just don't quite understand the setup, and they just look quite lethargic.
Ellen, I just want a quick one from you, because of Bunny Shaw, about the strength, but actually having the composure and being calm to able to finish that goal.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like, some people might say it is a foul, but she just uses her body to move over Germa. Germa's got her arm around her trying to drag her down
here,
and I just think she's a little bit off balance, but that's why she's so good. She kind of uses that to advantage to then lift the ball up and over and into the goal. And yeah, I quite like Bunny. She's quite good at football.
She's average. Well, that's not just football here on BBC. We've got plenty more sport coming your way.
The Olympic Winter Games starts Friday across the BBC.
What a game, what entertainment.
He says yes.
2 tries for the new boy. And skipping and jumping and bending and charging. Right, given.
The crowd love it.
And the stadium erupts again.
The Six Nations returns next Saturday at 1, live on BBC One and iPlayer.
Well, two teams sitting at opposite ends of the table go head-to-head at 4:30 in the Premier League. You can get full commentary of Tottenham Hotspur taking on Manchester City on BBC Sounds. And we have some high-octane, high-altitude winter sport for you. Ski Sunday is at 5:35 tonight on BBC Two. And, of course, you can catch all of the WSL action and goals on the Women's Football Show at 9 o'clock on the iPlayer or 11:40 on BBC One. And in the Six Nations, Scotland travel to Rome to face Italy. You can catch that the 7th of February at 1:30 on BBC One. Okay, it's time to catch some more of my interview with Manchester City's Kirsten Kasperai as we caught up over some food last week.
Thank you for having me over. You're very welcome. Okay, so talk to me. What's on the menu? A dish or a snack called oliebollen. Say again. Oliebollen.
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 So this is a bit of home.
It is very Dutch, and we actually only have them around New Year's. Okay. To be fair, if you don't look at the calories actually, because that's why we don't have them all year round. I've got a little, it's actually an ice cream thingy, but it's very useful for this. So what we'll try and do, let's try and scoop some of that.
When you said that you were doing this, some recipes have like currants and raisins and apples.
I didn't go for the raisins today.
Great.
Yeah, I don't like the raisins.
I don't like raisins.
I don't like the raisins either, so we're on the same wavelength there.
They're like little dead flies to me. I'm like,
yeah.
No thanks.
So and then it's just a weighing game, really. To be fair, we don't usually do this in the house, so
why?
Because it just starts to smell, doesn't it? Like this is not my house, so we can. But
we can't let them know that.
I think they know I can't afford this just yet. Like she's changed. She's changed. She is selling some on the side. We'll just rest these, wait for them to cool down. So put them in the paper towel so the oil can like drip out a little bit. And then once they're done, we'll put some really cute orange flags in. And we'll put some powdered sugar over.
Your favourite food that you've now got me is sushi.
Yes,
that's what
from
we're
a very
moving on
special
to.
place.
Okay.
Ready to go?
Let's go.
Sound.
You lead the way.
Go. Thank you very much.
So this is your favourite sushi place in Manchester?
Yes, it's
Right.
called Kitten. I swear I'm not biased because obviously I've got cats.
Yeah.
I'm a massive cat lover.
Would you say Manchester does feel like home for you now?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think the people here are so nice, and that's one of the things I heard when I was going to join. And obviously now I live here with my girlfriend. We've got our cat.
So you met your girlfriend in Manchester? Here?
Yeah, we met on Tinder in Manchester. It was great for me as well because I was a bit lonely, you know, living on my own, and I was just excited to meet other people outside my teammates. I love my teammates, but you know, sometimes you want to see other people as well. So my girlfriend always says, you know, you've got such a football perspective, like your work is not your life, your work's not your personality, or it doesn't define who you are. And being able to see that side of it and her like making me realise that and really allowing me to step away is really nice.
You do team bonding stuff. I think you done a cooking class, didn't you?
Yeah.
How did that go?
Well, for some,
that was a long
not
pull.
so well for others. No, to be fair, we've made it a very big thing to have a lot of team activities this year. So I'm captain of the team activity crew together with Laura Coombs. We went to Crystal Maze the other day with like players and staff, which we've made a big thing. Like we want to get together with the staff as well, just to get that connection.
So they know you away from the field as well.
You actually have conversations that you might not have at the club, and really get that connection going.
I feel like we've got a lot in common because you know what? I was in charge of team activities.
Did you find it stressful?
I just love seeing people have a good time away from that and showing their personality and people kind of connecting on different levels. I'm thinking about, shall we, dessert with the donuts?
Absolutely. I love the TikTok videos are like, dish up dinner with me, and then I dish up like the most outrageous dinner.
This is this.
Yeah, this is the
this
dish
whole
of dinner with me.
combination today.
So today for me and Alice made oliebolle, cheesecake,
we had some cracking sushi.
Do you want to try this one first?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Get in.
I feel like my one needs more icing.
Yeah?
But that's actually impressive.
We'll get
I
some
feel
more
like
icing.
technically, like English jam donut could be in there, full of sugar. This is like a kind of different version.
Yeah.
I do understand why this is mainly like once a year though.
Yeah, no, you have to recover from this. Oh, you do.
Thank you so much for having me over. I've really
You
enjoyed
are
this chat.
very welcome. Thank you for letting me make this.
Well, the top two going head-to-head here at the Etihad. Was always going to have drama, entertainment. But it's Manchester City who took the lead through Caroline with a great goal on the set piece. Could Chelsea get themselves back into this game? Some sloppy play which allowed Manchester City's top star player Bunny Shaw to make it 2-0. Chelsea have an uphill task in this second half. Okay, let's hear from the manager with Joe Curry.
Well, Andre, that was a very good first half from Manchester City. How easy was that team talk at half-time?
Oh, no, I think it's a tough game. We knew that. I think that there is periods in the first half where we are dominating and periods when they are dominating. We are scoring our chances and we are protecting our box very well. What we talked about in half-time is to be a little bit more in our defending when we defend our own half, that we don't want them to play through us that easy. So we need to make sure they play on the outside. And in our own attacking, we just need to keep being patient. They will open up and then we can play through them. And also keeping the same game plan. Don't be coming a little bit cautious. It's about winning the game, but we can't defend for 45 minutes.
Thanks for speaking to us. Enjoy the second half.
Thank you. Thank you.
We welcome back for the second half.
Joe, thank you very much. Okay, it's a team performance here, so time to hand you back to our commentary team of Robin Cowan and Rachel Brown-Finnis.
Yes, thank you, Alex. Your typical manager assessment of an excellent first half from his team, trying to dampen down expectations and pointing out some of the flaws in their performance in that first half. Because yes, Chelsea did make a few chances against them. They have not taken them. City have taken theirs. And it's going to take something pretty special now for Chelsea to come back from here. Perhaps in seasons past, you wouldn't rule it out, but this is like a very different City side. When they have managed to get through and create an opportunity, City looks so disciplined and positionally just know exactly where everyone is supposed to be, committed to the cause. But Chelsea, of course, have the quality. Berman with the early ball in.
And a great ball from Hannah Hampton. Out to Berman down that left-hand side. That's where Bonpastor will want her team to try and camp out as much as possible. They've had to soak up so much pressure and forward pressure in their defensive third, Chelsea. It's not something that they're used to doing.
No changes at the break from Sonia Bonpastor. She has plenty in attack on the bench if required. Perhaps a change of approach, we'll have to wait and see. But the burden is with Chelsea, of course.
Well, last time Chelsea were 2-0 down at half-time was against Manchester City in 2023. City came out 2-0 winners overall. That's exactly what Jegler knows. The standards have to remain as high as they have been defensively in this first half.
The difference that Chelsea still, of course, went on to win the title that season. This time, looks like a very distant possibility now. And in fact, attention might need to turn to securing Champions League football. Arsenal not in action this weekend, going for the Champions Cup at Emirates Stadium this afternoon. Then they play Manchester City next up.
Yeah, I'm sure Kerry-Lynn in particular may be keeping an eye on Corinthians against Arsenal later on today from Brazil. Some of her teammates heading, obviously, World Cup next year. Exciting inaugural tournament. Arsenal got a really good chance of winning.
Thompson slips it through for Baltimore. Linklater Brown.
Well, Chelsea have started brightly this second half, really have. And if nothing else, Chelsea know how to win games. And often, the player we see in our picture now is key to making that happen.
Sam Kerr getting ready. First of all, this Chelsea corner. Cuthbert for James. Cuthbert, good distance on the punch from Yamashita. Carpenter with the strike, and Kerry-Lynn is onside, well inside her own half. Will cut across Keira Walsh. It's Kerry-Lynn! Superb! The pace, the power, the precision, and the finish.
Goal for City, the second goal for our...
A scintillating goal from Kerry-Lynn.
And just what Andre Iglesias was saying in his interview, spaces will open up, and it's a counter-attack. Lauren Hemp feeds the ball through when every Chelsea player had gambled on getting a goal back and getting themselves back into this game. Kerry-Lynn burst past. Keira Walsh could do nothing. The touch was slightly heavy. Hannah Hampton thought she might be able to get there, but Kerry-Lynn saw her coming, lifted the ball beautifully. And this was sweet for Kerry-Lynn. The third goal, the definitive goal, surely, if you didn't believe it before. Hannah Hampton, England against Brazil. And Kerry-Lynn bursts back for her second goal today. Delicately done.
Kerry-Lynn with the killer goal. Double change for Chelsea. Sam Kerr and Sjoeke Nüsken are on. Erin Cuthbert and Veerle Boeman are off. From their own attacking corner, they conceded Manchester City. That is so unlike the Chelsea we have seen in recent years.
Basically, Harry, you've got to have someone holding on the halfway line, someone ready for that counter-attack that surely Manchester City do that so well. Speed of Bunny Shaw, Lauren Hemp, Kerry-Lynn, take your pick. It's going to hurt any team.
Down, not a scoreline that Sonia Bonpastor has experienced in the WSL. They were defeated heavily last season on both legs against Barcelona. They will keep plugging away, and they've got Sam Kerr on the field now. Nearly finds Carpenter, couldn't take it in her possession. James, away by Kasparai.
Lauren Hemp's got to recognise what her role is now. Ellie Carpenter as a right back, but she's a right forward now. Baltimore left side, not a left back, she's a left forward. And have to do their defensive roles. Tame.
Chelsea's last away defeat in the WSL was that incredible 4-3 loss to Liverpool in May 2024, where Emma Hayes famously conceded the title before lifting the trophy just a few weeks later because of a Manchester City collapse. I think we can say that is not going to happen this time.
Manchester City are playing with like a team fully assured of their own competence, both attackingly, defensively. They are playing like champions-elect. All about game management now for Manchester City.
We've had 2 meetings this season where they've lost by the odd goal. This will feel so good for City. And Chelsea are totally exposed once again. Caroline on a hat-trick. It's Caroline! Well, if you weren't aware of her quality before, everyone inside the Etihad is now. Caroline doing the damage once again. 3 for her, 4 for City. A total demolition job.
This is new territory for Chelsea, but it's all about the break. Ali Carpenter, as we said, playing higher. It's going to leave that space in behind for Lauren Hemp in that left channel. I thought she'd taken a bit too close to the byline, but Lauren Hemp's the expert provider. Caroline today, the expert finisher. 3 for her. The end for Chelsea. And a dominant performance, a show, a real showcase of the confidence, the elevated belief levels that Manchester City have and why they are in this top champions position.
Well, that's the game. Is that the title? If it wasn't before, looks like it now. Not just the scoreline, but a concerning performance. Thompson. Away by Yamashita, that was heading goalward.
Just needed a tiny amount of connection from Sam Kerr. That's what Alyssa Thompson was aiming for. The near post run of Sam Kerr. Just missed her head fractionally. Chelsea are not going to lay low. They're not going to lie down.
Baltimore's corner. Confident take from Yamashita.
And everybody knows any sort of head injury, game has to be stopped. Goalkeeper doesn't come off. Yes, there was definitely contact, maybe a little bit of game management. This is the chance. Alyssa Thompson whips the ball in, beautiful ball. Sam Kerr rises, can't make contact. Yamashita has to go with the original ball in and gamble that Sam Kerr's not going to get anything. Good early shout from Yamashita, who's been commanding. She's been textbook in everything she's done so far.
We're not going to get any big pronouncements, big statements from Andre Jeglerts, I'm sure. And Kiara Keating out to warm up, just in case. Last WSL game was all the way back in September. And while Yamashita has some treatment. Just a reminder of what's coming up on the BBC 4U Live Premier League commentary. Spurs against Manchester City. You can listen to that on BBC Sounds from 4:30. One of the best theme tunes on television. Ski Sunday, BBC 2 tonight, 5:35. And all the highlights from the Women's Football Show and the best analysis as well. 9 p.m. on the iPlayer, 11:40 on BBC One, straight after Match of the Day. And the Six Nations on the BBC next weekend, 1:30 on Saturday, Italy against Scotland. Oh, big scoreline, and Caroline, a coming-of-age performance at the Etihad on the big stage against the champions.
Yeah, and this is the first in the first half. Gets a little nick off Ellie Carpenter to take it beyond Hannah Hampton. But she's been so hard to deal with across the front line of Bunny Shaw, Caroline, Lauren Hemp providing this goal. They have been unplayable at times, Manchester City. And with the less congested fixtures for Manchester City, it's certainly been an advantage to them over the course of the season compared to Chelsea, but they've certainly taken it.
Caroline has doubled her WSL tally from the whole of last season in a single game. Actually less than that, still have quite a long way to go. Here is Vika Kaptein for Chelsea. Miedemar, fouled by Walsh.
Miedemar, has, having had her back fit and playing regularly, has been getting back to the Miedemar of old, playing in that 10 role and 9 role, coming out wide, dropping deep when required. She's such an intelligent footballer all round.
Miedemar this time trying to get away from Lauren James, who had hold of her. There was a covering defender.
Well, the referee's given nothing at all. There was contact, but I'm happy with the referee's decision. Great break from Miedemar. Still only 29, Miedemar, after a long time out with cruciate ligament damage. She's back.
Well, that just about sums it up, doesn't it? When Lauren James does something like that.
I was just going to say that. Absolutely sums it up. Nothing's quite gone to plan.
I was going to say we've all been there. I mean, I've certainly been there a number of times. Not sure if Lauren James has.
This is new territory for all of the Chelsea team, trying to get back from such a scoreline.
Well, this will be the first time. Oh, a slip from Blinkler Brown. They're gifted a chance and they don't take it. Vika Kaptein lifts it over the bar.
Well, the first little door left ajar for Chelsea, courtesy of Manchester City. They've been pretty flawless up to this point, Manchester City, in and out of possession. Good positioning from Yamashita does make it a little difficult.
Again, it's just an example there of almost where Chelsea heads are at. Kaptein has arguably had the better chances for Chelsea. Also had a goal ruled out for offside, rightly so, in the first half. Caroline. onside. Intelligent movement from the Brazilian, teasing the Chelsea defenders.
It's a brilliant ball from Rebecca Knapp into Caroline. Lovely footwork.
A double change for Manchester City. She claims the hat-trick, and now she can take a breather. Caroline will receive the adulation of the Etihad.
Manchester City, Caroline Nicole.
What a feeling that must be. Big crowd, hat-trick.
She's been replaced by number 20, Alba Fugino.
And more good news for Manchester City. Alba Fugino is on. She's missed the last 6 games with an injury to her first minutes of the new year.
By number 17, making a Manchester City home debut. Let's welcome in
Sam Coffey, new signing, making her home debut. Another substitute appearance for her. USA international on for Blinkilla Brown.
Yeah, she couldn't imagine coming on to get some game time, coming in with a team in a 4-0 lead. Perfect scenario. Holding midfielder Sam Coffey. And for Fugino, she'll be thinking, we'll get a goal as well.
Lauren James is withdrawn. Johanna Reeting-Kannerid, by contrast, not the easiest of circumstances to come onto for her, although not too much. I think she can complete the rescue act all alone. Nusken delivers. Greenwood's header only as far as Carpenter, but Lauren Hemp is there right in front of her.
Lauren Hemp's been phenomenal. She's done her defensive duties, as I said, she would need to do more so second half up against Ellie Carpenter in that advanced position. She's been electric as ever when she's burst forward.
Will be first back-to-back defeats in the WSL for Chelsea since 2015, when they were defeated by a Beth Mead-inspired Sunderland team, and then Manchester City. It's like Caroline maybe talking Grace Clinton through her hat-trick. Possibly the one time you're sort of okay to be substituted, although maybe she felt she'd want more.
Well, I think just over an hour's work and 3 goals. She already had an excellent goal average. I think it's 1 goal every 56 minutes prior to this game. Oh, that's even more impressive after this. Can't do the maths as quickly as I should do. But brilliant performance.
And yes, as mentioned, Arsenal away next Sunday for Manchester City before a home game against Leicester, and then it's FA Cup 5th round time. Chelsea have Manchester United, a repeat of last season's final. Manchester City at home to Sheffield United.
Yeah, a real possibility of the double for Manchester City. And after today's performance, I'm wondering who could stop them. Chelsea fans unusually subdued. The great travelling band of super fans behind Yamashita's goal. Not having the greatest of days.
Right centre finds Thompson. Now Nusken. Drops finally for Thompson! It's a tremendous strike. So Chelsea on the board. And with a bit of belief.
Well, that certainly brightened up the away fans' days, just as I was saying how glum it was. And it's a lovely strike from Alyssa Thompson, just wants it on her right foot. Little fortunate to get the ball, but cuts it precisely, beautifully across Sam Coffey. And a thunderous strike past Yamashita, who's possibly trying to look through bodies, just mounting a comeback. It's a delicious strike right into the side netting.
A little seed of doubt sown, perhaps. Thompson's 4th goal in her last 7. So no clean sheets for City. Well, some strike. Right in the corner, Yamashita. Very little chance of getting to that.
He talking about scoring a goal against Manchester City. You don't want it to be a consolation goal. But in its own right, an excellent strike from Alyssa Thompson. Not had enough strikes on goal from that central forward position.
Reeting Kaneryd.
Interesting to see whether Andre Jeglert's, on past seasons and when he's sure getting injured, is he going to think about bringing her off?
Claims for a handball of Baltimore. The referee says play on.
Interesting if Chelsea get a second. Just over 20 minutes to play.
Right, finds Reeting Kaneryd. Showing a lot of energy since her introduction. Nusken has lost it. And off goes Lauren Hemp. Here's Shaw. Back to Lauren Hemp! Good stop from Hampton.
Lauren Hemp scampered halfway down the pitch. Lovely little interchange from Bunny Shaw, good quality in a tight area. Manages to get a shot away, and this time Hannah Hampton manages to make a save in a 1v1. Not had any chance in previous. We're up against her England teammate many times in practice.
Kasperai. Oh, it's there! At the near post! Viviana Miedema restores City's 4-goal cushion.
Goal for City, scored by
Hampton's shaking her head. There's nothing she can do about this. Defensively, it's just too easy a header. It's Vika Kaptein who's closest to her. Was it her job? It's just far too easy. It's a great ball in. Kasparay, one that clearly they've worked on, because Kasparay's been on corners all afternoon. This time from the left-hand side, whipping it in right-footed, in-swinger. Just needed a deft glance. Miedema has been outstanding all afternoon.
I think Hannah Hampton might need some space to herself on the bus home. Thoroughly fed up.
Or a bus of her own, possibly.
Aggie Beever-Jones on for Chelsea, and she's trying to keep up with Lauren Hemp here. It's another chance for City, but Germer intercepts the pass towards Bunny Shaw. She's got a question. Chelsea here. It's Hasegawa who whips it well wide. Again, not a regular goal scorer. They all want to have a go here. Chelsea just look lost at sea.
They're detached at the back. And they'll just break off to see a lovely sight for Manchester City players and fans to see Mary Fowler back in the reckoning to come on. But for Bonpastor, this is very uncomfortable. They've been disjointed. They've been on the back foot since the first minute. Manchester City have been exceptional, but they haven't been flawless. But Chelsea just have been way off par. And that's just not allowed in the Bonpastor reign.
Well, their biggest WSL defeat came against Arsenal. That was a 5-0 thrashing at Kingsmeadow in October 2018. And yes, always a wonderful sight to see. Mary Fowler getting ready to come on in place of Bunny Shaw. Her work is done. City's work has been done for quite some time. But they can welcome back Mary Fowler. Very serious knee injury suffered in April. The long road, the brutal road of recovery. All worth it. Back on the pitch. Miedema is off for Grace Clinton.
Couldn't have been the most perfect scenario for both those players to come on, as we see the replay again from Miedema. It's all about the ball, and it had pace. It was already directed towards goal. But then that beautiful, subtle touch from Miedema was all it required to redirect it past Hannah Hampton, and just tops off an exceptional day for that forward line. Mary Fowler, we were there, I think, on that day when Mary Fowler went down in a pretty innocuous challenge. Remember it very well, thinking, oh, that looks asymptomatic of an ACL injury, but great to have her back.
Nusken towards Kerr. Bounces. It's the gloves of Yamashita.
Sam Kerson's coming on, just not had a sniff, really. One ball in from Alyssa Thompson that just went past her head, dealt with by Yamashita.
Coffey. Give and go. And again, space is opening up against this Chelsea team, who again failed to shut up shop. Hemp digs out the cross. It's Clinton who got ahead to it.
A decent attempt from Clinton, got across Millie Bright. Millie Bright, enough contact on Clinton just to take the power out of the header. bring off Bunny Shaw and Miedema, and you bring on the younger, fresher, hungrier legs of Mary Fowler and Grace Clinton.
Now Bunny Shaw's getting the replays, the recollections.
Subs on the bench must be thinking, all right, we've seen them once, talk me through it again.
I think this is only the beginning for Caroline. And as you mentioned, the run-up to what will be a really special summer for her in 18 months' time. Home World Cup. I know she's wanted to bring her mother to Manchester a few times, but reluctant because of the weather.
Don't know what she means. Well, plenty of players on this pitch who also will be desperately hoping to be in Brazil next summer, taking advantage of their lovely weather, among other things.
Neatly done, Clinton. Fowler. Perhaps a little bit rusty. Basel. There was a suggestion that last time against Arsenal, where Chelsea were defeated, he was wearing a different shirt back in the Chelsea one, and this has happened. So yeah, let's find another lucky one. Here's Reeting Canarid.
She's been brilliant, hasn't she, Rebecca Nack? Too many touches. I think Reeting Canarid should have taken the shot herself. She's through there, touch towards goal. Would have meant she'd have had a better chance to shoot. Then it's really congested. You've got 6 players in the 6-yard box for Manchester City, including a goalkeeper.
A challenge from Bright. Kerr. Kaptein. Nusken on to Reeting Canarid, behind Beever-Jones. Hasegawa twisting and turning, losing it for Kaptein. Clinton takes good care of the ball. Hemp. Forgot to mention the defensive option that Chelsea are missing today. Lucy Bronze didn't travel, minor issue. Should be a painful watch for her. If you're watching any sort of football that she's not playing is painful for her.
Yeah, it's probably better for everyone she's not here to experience this. Against a former team.
Given away cheaply. Clinton picks her head up. Thompson on the retreat. It's a crucial touch.
Just didn't gauge the angle of the pass perfectly, Grace Clinton. Cut out by Carpenter. Mr. Thompson's consolation goal, it seems. Possibly one of the only positives to take out of this game for Chelsea.
Alex Greenwood. Down the line for Mary Fowler. Hasegawa. Beaver Jones is down and has stayed down in the meantime. Here's Grace Clinton up against Germer. Deflection. Away for a corner.
Beaver Jones has been out injured. Just starting to get a few minutes back on the pitch, and Serena Wiegman and Chelsea fans will be grimacing just as much as Beaver Jones is.
Don't think she really needs to say much to her players. They know how damaging this result is, but this is the fascinating task that coaches have, is how your team responds to a couple of setbacks that have been so pivotal in their race for the title. She will say that they'll never give up, they'll never concede. And how do they get that belief back, instill the belief?
This is where Aggie Beaver Jones gets injured. See, she just goes to play the ball and rolls her ankle out, jars her ankle. And that's what they're taping up currently. I think it was already taped up. But you're right, Robin, it'll be a very quiet train or bus or flight, however they transport themselves back to London. And it is very much about, you have strong leaders in this team, experienced players from all over the world in this Chelsea team. They have to galvanise the likes of Sam Kerr, the likes of Millie Bright, Hannah Hampton. They have to get together and rally. There's plenty more silverware on the table. You have to look at that table and think that this race is run.
The top three have the chance of getting in the Champions League, so that's what Chelsea's focus will be now. Third place, though, you have to go through qualifiers, so you've got to say, in reality, they'll be looking to try and get second place, but 11 points clear as it stands, Manchester City.
It's emphatic, but it is a direct relation to how competent and assured and calm that Manchester City have been. And for Bon Pastor, it's probably not about the present. This one she'll want to forget as soon as, and ensure it doesn't have an impact on the games that are coming up thick and fast, the Champions League games, cup finals. They have to pick themselves up.
Trying to play in Alba Fagino. Fagino striding forward into a bit of a melee in which she still manages to get a shot in. Landed a bit heavily.
Yeah, concern from Ellie Carpenter. She landed. She's literally just come back from injury, Alba Fagino. Young Japanese promising player. I'm not sure if she hit her head on the floor. Lovely bit of skill to get through a tiny little column, but that impact, the way she spun round, it's not a foul, it's contact, it's incidental, but it's a wicked landing. See how she catches her arm and, sorry, her leg, spins around, And this is a concussion check.
Yeah, this does look of concern. While Alba Fugino gets some treatment, let's go to our Barclays WSL Player of the Match, Rachel.
Well, I can't get any arguments against this. Brazilian striker, goals per game. Today, a hat-trick. An absolutely stunning performance. Caroline, the Brazilian sensation, is today's Barclays Women's Super League Player of the Match.
Here you go. Caroline can enjoy these once again.
Yeah, the first, an opportune strike, strikes it hard, takes a nick. This second is all quality and celebrates as she should. The third, teed up beautifully by a stunning performance from Lauren Hemp, put away, textbook, side foot, redirection. And she's just seen the news. I think she's actually just seen the replay of her teammate Alba Fugino.
That was quite some impact. No chances should be taken.
And the stretcher is being readied on the side of the pitch. Ready for the call. There's Ellie Carpenter, but it's the speed that Alba Fugino's going at. And she strikes the ball. It's not grounded. The leg just whips around and that momentum splats her into the ground. Hugely unfortunate. I just hope she's all right. But a real statement performance from Andre Yeglets today in how they set up. They dominated from the outset, Manchester City.
Well, this has put a bit of a dampener on the atmosphere, understandably so.
She did sit up briefly just then.
No exaggeration to say this is a statement win. 12 minutes of time added on for various injuries, and we're still in stoppages with Alba Fugino.
It has to be a very thorough check if it's any sort of head injury. Great to see her sat up there. Whether it's a head injury, I thought maybe a shoulder injury at first. But player welfare absolutely top of the list. And it looks like we've got Laura Coombs getting ready to come on and make a change.
Well, thankfully she's going to be able to walk off the pitch. And of course, she'll be looked after carefully. Laura Coombs will help Manchester City finish the match. And in doing so, reaches 150 City appearances. Former Chelsea player won the League and Cup double with them in 2015. Sure, an important figure in this City squad.
Oh, but Fugino can't catch a break. Because presuming this is a concussion, maybe mandatory 2-week time away.
Go for a corner.
Chelsea do look dejected, wounded. Manchester City, no surprised, got such a spring in a step. They want to keep going, they want to hammer home. They ain't sitting back and running the game out. To be real champions, you need to be ruthless.
Greenwood's corner, away by Bright. Hasegawa. Oh, might fall here for Clinton!
Excellent save from Hannah Hampton. Comes down the line, gets big. Split save. Makes a window for Grace Clinton to shoot through. Very, very small. Little rebound from Casper Wright.
Again, Millie Bright gets first contact. Under control, ball out to Greenwood by Hasegawa. Yamashita finds Lauren Hemp. There has been no let-up from City. Kasparai finds Fowler. Cross comes in, away by Germer. Lauren Hemp puts on the accelerator to win it back from Reetin Kaneryd. Positioning from Germer.
Lauren Hemp's been unplayable at times. Can't tackle her because she's too fast. Execution's been brilliant. Touch is wonderful. Application to defend as well as burst forward.
Chelsea to turn their attention fully to the Champions League, where they will face Arsenal in the knockout stages. First up, if Arsenal can get past Leuven, they have a playoff to manoeuvre. Lauren Hemp from a standing start, but Carpenter matches her this time.
Yeah, if Carolyn hadn't stole the show with 3 goals, then Lauren Hemp would certainly be a contender for player of the match. But it's been such a brilliant collective performance from Manchester City.
Clinton keeps it in. Hemp, Coffey, controls. Chelsea just trying to prevent further damage here. Fowler holds it up beautifully, finds Coffey. Hemp. Clinton. Hemp towards the back post. Baltimore just about deals with it. It's almost like City are playing against 10, 9 players. Like they have an extra one.
Yeah, it's not often when Chelsea play that they're out-dominated, that a team really has a squeeze on them and you don't see any chinks in the opposition. It's uncomfortable for Chelsea, not just the scoreline, but the way that they're having virtually nothing in the game. Not being able to string passes together, dominance, 1v1s. I've not looked at the stats, but I'm pretty sure that City are winning in every single one of them.
Coombs. Hemp. Charged down by Carpenter. I mean, there have been signs that Chelsea haven't looked quite as strong this season, but this is still a huge surprise.
Yeah, I mean, because they've found ways, and that's been synonymous. Sometimes Chelsea have blown teams away, sometimes, you know, historically, sometimes they've found ways to win. Girls, it's not even cold, and they've got a blanket on the bench.
They are from warmer climes. You can't blame them. Their job is done. Just need a flask of tea and a biscuit.
Yeah, and a purple rinse and a perm.
Getting into the culture. They're up north now.
And if Manchester City do go on to win the title, there'll be not too many prouder than Alex Greenwood making that tackle there.
The captain comes off. He's playing at left back the last few games. Number of fans. The Etihad, Layla Wahabi on.
Yeah, and that's protecting Alex Greenwood, come back from a really nasty knee injury. Screws in the knee that are affecting the recovery. Another surgery to fix that. So she's been through the ringer to get back to be leading her team to what seems like an inevitable trophy lift.
Clinton. City want more. Turn towards goal. Hampton makes the save. Hemp denied. And off goes Alyssa Thompson. Ritin Kadarit. Tries to beat Yamashita at near post. Carpenter on the overlap. Hasegawa sticks out a leg. Grace Clinton picks her head up. Finds Lauren Hemp. Running down the clock by standing still.
An expert in just playing on the shoulder, but keeping yourself online, offering that long ball outlet for Manchester City. Now in the game to slow down.
The substitutes have hit their stride as well for this City team. Not missed a beat. Grace Clinton just looks immaculate on the ball. Hemp, Fowler. Hemp turning away from Carpenter, who gets back to make the block. One last chance to win the set.
Well, it's 1-0 Lauren Hemp over Ellie Carpenter.
Send a couple of those up here. Kasperite. Coffee towards Hemp. Kasperite. gathered by Hampton. Thompson wins it back off Rebecca Kanak. Again, Jade Rose helping out. Corner for Chelsea.
Yeah, a little mistake from Rebecca Kanak, but that duo of Jade Rose and Rebecca Kanak have been absolutely sensational since they got together. And what Jade Rose does so well is cover Rebecca Kanak. A little lax pass allows Alyssa Thompson to get past her. But her centre-half teammate there's a danger.
Baltimore's corner. Here's Millie Bright. Out of play, another corner.
Less than 1 minute to go. And Captain Millie Bright, this will hurt her personally.
Taken short. Thompson delivers. Aggie Beever-Jones. Unclaimed. Yamashita. And there we have it. Chelsea blown away by the light blues of Manchester City. After 6 seasons of dominance, was this the day Chelsea's crown officially slipped? Caroline, the star of the show, with a hat-trick. But Manchester City with a statement, dominant display against the 8 times WSL winners. They go 11 points clear at the top of the table.
Well, it was superstars from around the world, Manchester grit, Manchester organisation, unity. Manchester City have all of those things. Dazzling goals by Caroline and Miedemar and Bunny Shaw. But the inevitable that they're going to go on and win the title, they look today very much deserved winners.
A remarkable scoreline here at the Etihad, full-time. Manchester City 5, Chelsea 1.
Thank you, Robin and Rachel. Wow, wow, and wow. We knew we were in for a game, but I don't think anyone saw this scoreline coming against the reigning WSL champions. You can see on Chelsea's faces, this one hurts. But Steph, how are you feeling right now?
Absolutely made up for the girls. I think today was a test of what Manchester City could bring, and I think today is all about Manchester City, if I'm being honest. They're stuck to the game plan. They're playing away where they're full of confidence. They've got players on form, and they're taking big moments in these big games. I think nobody would have ever predicted that this was going to be the scoreline, but I think from start to finish, I think City were by far the better team today.
Yeah, I think for me, the intensity, the togetherness, the work rate, the clinical edge. I just feel like there's been a complete change of mentality from the start of the season. Yes, they did lose to, obviously, Chelsea. They've gone unbeaten now. They just look like a title-winning team now. They've got the depth, the amount of players they brought off the bench, and just the quality, the understanding of the game plan. The manager has obviously given them a little bit of freedom, but a structure to play in, and they just look like a winning machine at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with both of you, Ellen and Steph. I think what you're saying is absolutely correct. Manchester City were much more dominant than Chelsea in this opening 45. I think the disappointing thing, I guess, for Sonia and even the Chelsea fans, and maybe the players themselves, the attitude, Alex, from these Chelsea players today. When you're playing in a team that is being dominated the way that you are, and you can't quite get a grip of it and you're making a mistake, the least you can do is give that little bit of extra effort. And I felt Chelsea lacked that. When you speak about intensity, there was an effort that matched anything today. So I think that's the disappointing thing for a team that we've spoken about for many years, having such a ruthless mentality. You know, whether they're winning or whether they're losing, we always talk about that mentality. Chelsea looked as if they lost that today.
Okay, well, that was Chelsea's biggest defeat in the WSL since 2018 when they lost to Arsenal 5-0. What a statement win by Manchester City. And this is what it does for the WSL table. Manchester City, they sit pretty at the top, 11 points clear. Chelsea, 12 points now off them. But it makes it interesting for those second and third places in the WSL for qualification for the Champions League next season. Right, let's get straight to Jo Curry, who is with the player of the match.
Carolyn, what a day. A massive win for the team, a hat-trick for you in front of the home crowd. If you ask that home crowd, you've just won the league. How does it feel?
It's hard to describe how it feels. I think at the moment the team is just enjoying. We know what we want and we just like going to. And you know, like at the end of the day, it's just like keep doing what we're doing, being like working hard and making hard, because at the end is our house, so we just need to make sure we do our job.
I love the fact you want to talk about the team, but this moment is all about you and that hat-trick. Did we see the best of you today? You look like you loved every minute of it.
I mean, it's hard to talk about myself, but at the moment I think I'm just enjoying the moment of the team. Again, the team, without the team I can't do anything. So I think if we're in this position right now it's because of the team. I'm really happy to help. It's very nice to score a hat-trick against Chelsea. But, you know, now it's in the past, actually, that we need to keep going and then just look forward.
Do you have a favourite goal from this afternoon? There are enough of them.
I know. The little flick.
First player in the WSL history to score a hat-trick against the reigning champions. What an impressive performance, Steph.
Yeah, she's definitely on form in terms of Carolyn, and these big games, especially at the Etihad, she actually thrives in these moments, and I really do think that the team are really playing to her strengths. Of course, this goal comes from a corner, but to have that ability to take it down and obviously get a shot away, and if this is a goal that sums Carolyn up and what she's about, this is it. I think driving with the ball, being able to take advantage of Chelsea being disorganised, but that touch across the defender. And what a fantastic finish, Ellen. That is pretty special.
I could watch that over and over again. I'm sure tonight she'll just have that one on replay, but it's a phenomenal finish. And again, putting herself in a good position. Yes, it's poor defending from Chelsea, but you've got to be in the right position. You've got to have that want and desire to be in there. And congrats to her for that hat-trick.
I think both of those goals show the difference in the commitment. Carolyn's run the length of the pitch to score that goal and then have the composure to be able to dink it. And then when her teammates through on the left-hand side, she wants to get in the box more than anybody else around her, and that's why she gets her hat-trick. So the determination from the City players today was far superior than any Chelsea player.
Steph, what is it about this Manchester City team this season to show just the football that they're playing, the belief, the mentality?
You know what, I don't even think it's like major tweaks in this team, because the foundations have been there for a long, long time. It's just probably new eyes, a new voice, someone coming from a different league and going, actually, go and play with a little bit of freedom, go and use your strengths and weaknesses and exploit weaknesses of the other team. And even you look at Carolyn, for example, we normally used to have wingers that would want to try and take someone off its not and come back out, but actually she's using the space, she's using her pace, and ultimately when you've got goal scorers the likes of Bunny Shaw, you've got the likes of Medina in terms of WSL scorers, with that experience them at forward areas, sharing out the goals, it makes such a difference to win a title.
Okay, so a quick one for you all. Is that the WSL title wrapped up?
I was waiting for the presentation now. It's not happening. Sorry.
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you have it. Well, actually, you'll get the opportunity to see how Chelsea react next week. Do join us on BBC Two as Tottenham will be taking on Chelsea. We look forward to seeing you there, and thank you very much.
Say it till the doubt disappears, until the face in the mirror